So we're now moving on to our second Pilates section, advanced. Now you should have done your rec check before moving on to this. Remember, to do this more advanced section you need to make sure that you have a 2 or less than 2 finger width gap in your abdominal muscles as you advance the exercises. If you have got a wider gap than that, then stick with the beginner level and only move on when you feel strong enough to do so. Okay, so we're going to move on with our bridge exercise first of all. You ready for this, Alison?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that your abdominals are less than that 2 finger width, so we're okay. And I'm going to start you with your neutral line. So you've got a little hollow in your lower back. Always come back to your neutral line, always start in your neutral line. Take a breath, inhale as you exhale, pull up through the pelvic floor, hollow your tummy, and lift up exactly the same as before. I'm going to ask Alison to lift up a little bit higher this time. If your knees start to wander out to the side, remember, get your cushion and put it between your knees to keep them in line. So I'm just going to do that there with Alison, okay? Now hold this position, squeeze your buttocks. Try and tilt your pelvis slightly, as if you're tucking your tailbone underneath you. This will help you squeeze your bum. Hollow your tummy. Now take your arms up and back behind your head. Hold that position. Well done, Alison. Hold your position. Take another breath, bring the arms back, but don't let your back drop. Hold up, and then roll back down again. Try to work through each vertebrae at a time, rolling back down, upper vertebrae first until your tailbone comes back to the floor. Establish that neutral line again, little hollow in your lower back, and take another breath. Inhale and exhale. Pull up through the pelvic floor, hollow your tummy, lift up through, squeeze your bum. Tuck your pelvis slightly at the top so that you're really working through your buttocks and hollowing your tummy. You okay, Alison?
Yeah.
Take another breath and take the arms back behind the head. If you're not sure about your breathing, just the most important thing is to continue to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Take another breath to bring the arms back and then lower back down again. Think of your back curling back down to the floor like a snake, uncoiling down until you've got that neutral line again, tailbone on the floor. Take another breath and go again. Pull up through and lift. Hold your position. Squeeze your bum. Hollow your tummy. Pull up to the pelvic floor. Take another breath. Take the arms back behind the head. Keep hollowing your tummy. Try and pull your tummy in, Alison, for me. That's it. Well done. Take the arms back. Okay, now I can see Alison's fatiguing here, and roll back down. So I'm going to make that Alison's last one. If you want to do one more now because you have the energy, then feel free to do so. I'm going to get Alison to have a little rest out now. It's really important that when you get to the point where you feel your muscles starting to shake, and there's 2 signs there. We saw her backside muscles starting to shake a little bit, and she wasn't able to hollow her tummy anymore. It wasn't hollowing and pulling in. That's a sign you've reached your maximum. Oh, Georgie, have you reached your maximum too? Well done. So we're advancing our heel slide now. So like with the bridge exercise, we're going to involve the upper body. In this exercise, it's really important that you keep your spine still. So I'm going to ask Alison to take her hands up in line with her shoulders. I'd like you to do the same thing. Have your palms facing in. Draw your shoulder blades back and down. Pull your tummy muscles in nice and tight. Hollow your tummy. Maintain that neutral line. Now for this heel slide exercise, I want you to keep your spine neutral all the way through. So you've got to connect to those core muscles. So take a breath, inhale. As you exhale, pull up through the pelvic floor, hollow your tummy. Slide one leg away. And now take the opposite arm up over your head and the other same side arm down by the side of your leg. As you do that, draw your shoulder blades back and down. Try not to let your rib cage lift. So you're keeping your spine in its neutral position. It shouldn't be lifting. It's really important you don't arch the back as you do this. How are you doing, George? Take another breath. Bring the leg back. Bring the arms back in line with the shoulders. Take another breath and repeat on the other side. Take one arm back behind the head. Opposite leg extends. Hollow your tummy. Pull up to the pelvic floor. Keep working through. Keep breathing. Take another breath to bring back. Arms in line with the shoulders, tummy muscles in nice and tight. And work it through again. Extend, working through the other leg. So changing legs each time, changing arms each time. The great thing about this exercise, and release and come back again, is that you're working through the upper body and getting a lot of mobility through the upper body as well as working through those back muscles. Oh, George, how you doing, mate? You okay? Are you okay? Is Mummy still doing her exercises? Should we check? Should we make sure? She's still hollowing her tummy. That's good, isn't it? Your baby can be your teacher. Make sure you're doing the exercises correctly. Keep hollowing your tummy, keep pulling up through the pelvic floor. Really try and extend and lengthen that leg. Remember, the whole idea is that the pelvis shouldn't drop, it shouldn't move. Keeping that spine still, keep hollowing, focusing on those core muscles. Let's do it just one more time. Extending through and release. Well done. I think it's time we turn mummy over, don't you? Yeah? Okay, so we're now going on to our tummy lying exercise. We're now moving this exercise into something called the dart, which is a little bit more advanced. I'm going to give Alison a block for her to rest her forehead on. I'm just going to have her hands down both sides. Now you can use a towel or you can use a cushion. What's important though is that the neck stays in a neutral position. You don't want your chin dropping down, likewise you don't want your head sticking up. So she's got a lovely long line now, and it's called the dart, this exercise. And if you think of it now, Alison's body looks a bit like a dart. Think of the top of the head, the point of the dart is the top of the head, the crown of the head. The arms are the feathers of the dart, and her feet are the tail of the dart. How are we doing, George? You okay? Now we're going to ask Mummy to pull up through her pelvic floor and hollow her tummy. So just watch this first one just to get an idea. If you've done this before, then feel free to join in with Alison now. Hollow the tummy first, pull up through the pelvic floor. Now I'm going to ask Alison to lift her head, neck, shoulders and arms a tiny way off the floor, no more. Come down a little bit, Alison, not quite as high as that. Drop your head slightly. Perfect. Now, as an added little bit of work, I'm going to ask her to take her palms to the floor and then turn her thumbs up towards the ceiling and squeeze between her shoulder blades. Hold that position. Lovely. Hollow your tummy, pull up through your pelvic floor and release and come down. And we'll do that again. Take a breath, inhale. As you exhale, pull up through the pelvic floor, hollow your tummy. Be careful you don't lift the head too high. Remember, the top of the head is the point of the dart. Oh, sweetheart, how you doing? Should we find your book? And then release and come back down again. And take another breath, inhale. As you exhale, pull up through the pelvic floor, hollow your tummy, lift up through, turn the palms to the floor and then out and up towards the ceiling. It's really important you open the chest as you do this exercise. Keep your chin in, looking down at the floor, and release and come down. You shouldn't feel any stress in your lower back. If you feel stress in your lower back, then you're lifting too high. Come up again for me, Alison. Make sure you're hollowing your tummy. Keep breathing all the way through. I'm going to show you an advancement now. I'm going to ask Alison to lift one leg half an inch off the floor, a tiny way, and to squeeze her butt. This is how you can advance this exercise. Keep hollowing your tummy, keep pulling up through the pelvic floor and release and come down. We'll do this one more time with the opposite leg. Now, if you've revisited this video quite a few times now, coming up again, video, DVD. I'm not with the times, am I? Goodness me. Squeeze the buttocks, lift your belly. If you've done this through quite a few times now, you can work with the extended leg all the way through this section. I'm going to ask Alison to come back now and sit back on her heels and just stretch out her back and just release. That's it. And then we're going to do the butt stretch again like you did in the beginner section. So she's going to keep one knee underneath her and extend the other leg out. So I'd like you to do the same thing. Lengthening through and just relax down. Remember when you're doing this that you're trying to hollow your tummy. You can relax your head down to the floor, Alison, that's it. Hollowing your tummy, pulling up through the pelvic floor. And think about trying to lift your tailbone as you stretch, and that's really important to help stretch out the right muscles. These are the deep muscles, the buttock muscles in the hip. And then change sides. Mummy's nearly done. Here she is. So this is a lovely stretch to do, and if you feel very tight in this area, it's a nice one to relax into. Remember, if you feel any pressure on your knee, then just come out of the position. You okay? And release it through. And when you're doing these stretches, try to relax into them. You can hold them for a little bit longer if you want to. Or you could repeat them if you wanted to. But that ends your Pilates section number 2.